What's up, everybody? This is Podcast Gameoverse, episode 125 for Saturday, November 5th, 2022. I am Wasabi Ice Cream, joined as always by my dude Rick. What's up?
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Rick here. You came in hot with that. What's
Wow.
up, dude? You scared me.
You came in hot. You're fucking, are you like licking your mic right now? You just put the mic in your mouth? The hell
You
was
told
that?
me like having it closer to my face would like make it sound better.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That is great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it really? You fucking with me?
No. Don't do that.
I'm putting it back.
Yeah, that's an absurd level of intimacy. Yeah.
No, I'm here. This is Rick. I'm excited. There's not a lot to talk about this week. Not a lot happened. We played quite a couple games. I want to talk about that you want to talk about. So let's start, man. Tell me what you've been playing for the past like 9 hours.
Yeah, we're doing a extra live stream right now, 24 hours straight. So for the past 9 hours, I've been playing Bayonetta 3, and I'm at the very end. I'm at the final chapter, and the game's good, okay? I'm not going to sit here and tell you like it's a bad game, because it's not.
But
there's some things about it that I'm like, this is a little annoying. Yeah, it gets a little annoying sometimes with the camera. I feel like the camera is the real boss of the game. Like you fight the camera more than you fight any other enemy in the game, and it's a little much for me, especially when there's like big enemies, like large enemies, where you can't see all of their limbs. So if they like decide to like swipe down with an arm, and you can only see their legs because they're so big, and you know, a lot of the mechanics in that game revolve around, you know, dodging, perfect dodging. There's other playable characters in the game that, while they can dodge, they don't trigger the witch time. What's her face? Viola in the game. She uses a katana, and her katana is parry based. So you have to parry attacks, not dodge attacks, for her.
Oh, that's a Metal Gear Rising character.
Yeah, but it doesn't work like Metal Gear where you can just spam the shit. Like you have to time it properly. So
Right, good.
And then it gets like chaotic if you're like, I'm not a perfectionist, so it's not like you're not gonna die a lot. I mean, you're gonna die a lot in the game, and a lot of it's going to be because of the fucking camera and because of how chaotic everything is on screen, and you can't see attacks coming in. I know you were watching a little bit, and you were like, "No, I can parse everything that's happening." You can't. When you play it, I guarantee you, you're like, "This is bullshit."
I was saying that because I was watching it like passively. I wasn't like actively engaging with it, so of course like I can observe everything.
Yeah. Once you're like, when you're playing it, it's like totally different, I think, because there's a lot going on. And then, okay, so not only is there a lot going on, but here's something you don't realize until you've like played, like when you've been playing it a lot. And this is both a good and a bad thing.
Yeah.
It mixes up the gameplay variety constantly. It's constantly like doing new things with the gameplay, so much so that it has to throw a tutorial at you like, okay, here's what's happening now, here's what the controls do now. And it's good because it like mixes it up, so you don't get like, you know, you're not doing the same repetitive shit over and over again. It keeps everything fresh, but at the same time it keeps changing everything, so you can't get comfortable in like every time it changes something you have to be like, okay, now what the fuck do the buttons do now? And so you have to like take a second and pause it and like look at it'll put on the left side of the screen, it'll say, hey, the X button does this now, or the Y button does this, and you can shift into a different mode if you hit the right trigger, and then everything does this. and it's like, okay, this is a little much, and then you only do that for like 3.5 minutes, and then you go back to the normal thing, and then maybe you'll get something else completely different for like another 3.5 minutes, and it like does that a lot. And I'm like, okay, this is a bit much, man. You keep like changing all the controls, and I have to like sit here and like relearn everything because it's like it's completely different from like one chapter to the next. So I don't know. It was a little. I was glad it was mixing it up, but it was a little too much of mixing up. I think I don't know.
That's what I was worried about because like I like games I mix it up too, but also like I bought this game for a reason, and if you're gonna take that reason away from me like
Yeah,
constantly, it's a balancing act to like keep it varied, but
some
also
of it
like
was
not
really
take away.
cool. Jean makes a return in this game, and she has dedicated segments or like a stealth. It's like her segments or like a side-scrolling stealth missions.
What?
Like it's like
That
a
sounds
mix.
cool.
It's like a mix of like a side-scrolling Metal Gear Solid and like elevator action. At some points, it's like a Contra. It's like really cool. Her stuff's really cool.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah.
And then there was a segment that was like a rhythm game, almost like a Hatsune Miku rhythm game, and I was like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
You like rhythm games though. So.
yeah, yeah. So it was pretty dope. But um, but that's what I'm talking about though. And then like there's parts where there's like it's like a shoot 'em up, like a side scrolling shoot 'em up where you're like flying, almost like segments of like Near Automata. So
Yeah, that's cool.
it's like a lot of it, but it mixes it up a lot. So it's like it stays fresh, which is great because you don't get bored. But every time it does that, you're like, okay, let me take a second here and look at the controls, and like you can get a little optional tutorial if you hit the plus button, and it says, okay, here's what's happening now. There's gonna be dark areas, and you have to switch into this mode, and then you have a little radar, and you switch into this mode, and then you can shoot and shit. Uh, there's like puzzle segments too, where you constantly every chapter you get a new demon that you can control, and they all do different things. And the new ones you get, they'll have puzzle segments spread across the level that utilizes that demon's powers to solve some of the puzzles. And I hated every single one of those. uh,
Yeah.
like they don't last very long, but it was just like, come on, guys, like we don't have to. Yeah, it's just I don't know. It was just doing too much at that point.
Yeah.
So, but overall, it's like it's a super enjoyable game. It's like
Yeah.
it's so much fun.
Yeah. Would you
Uh,
say if you liked the first two Bayonettas, you'll probably like this one? It's a safe bet.
yeah, yeah, definitely. But
I'm gonna
you
give it a
know,
shot then. I'm definitely gonna pick it up today. Probably after the show, I think I'll just swing by Walmart and pick one up.
yeah, it's fun. So
Good. I want to play it for a while, so like I said, I don't think there's anything you could have said that would like turn me off of it. I probably would have picked up the game like no matter what you said about it.
yeah,
But I'm glad it's like enjoyable at least.
I would say like if you're like a perfectionist, you're gonna get pissed the fuck off. I don't
It
know.
can be. I think I told you like my thing is like I don't accept anything less than like what the game considers a B.
Yeah,
So like
yeah.
anything like below silver for me is like I'm restarting that level. It's
Silver.
a
I guess
blessing and a
silver's
curse.
doable. I guess silver is probably doable. But yeah, if you're going
Yeah,
for like
that's
platinums
like
and shit, it's gonna be rough, dude. Some of those sections
yeah.
are just like ridiculous.
I'll
Just
give it a
it's
shot.
yeah, it's the big enemy. It's the big enemies where it's just like their attacks aren't like telegraphed, and if they are, you can't see half of the enemy because they're too big to fit on the camera. So
Yeah.
it's like it's shit like that, or like ranged enemies, and like, yeah, I don't know. It's a lot, I think, but I'm glad I don't care about score. So
Well, I'll give it a shot for sure. Then I'm probably like I said, I'm probably gonna pick it up after the show because like I've been looking for an excuse to buy that game forever.
yeah.
Anything else you've been playing you want to talk to the people about?
No, that was it. That's all I played. Oh, you're gonna talk about Gunfire Reborn. I did load that up a little bit. So
Yeah, you were telling me the other night you didn't like it.
that game's fucking garbage, dude. I don't know. Like it has potential, but it's still like even out of early access, it's still early access. So
Yeah, it's very much early access still, which is some stuff I'll go into right now.
yeah,
Yeah, I've been playing Gunfire Reborn. I like it a lot. I love the potential that it has. It's a really fun roguelike first person shooter. The big gimmick is that it has a ton of like little systems that work together that are super cool to play around with, dude. The elemental system is really neat, and you can cause status effects. And if you cause status effects for multiple elements, that can cause a third like combined effect. That's really neat. Like you can use corrosive, which is like poison that causes decay on people, and then fire can burn people. And if you do both of them, it'll cause like an explosion. That's really cool to see. And it's really cool building out your characters to do specific things. And each character is really neat. They play drastically differently. The first one is more elemental based. A lot of his abilities are based on elemental damage, elemental status effects. Second character, he's a dog, and his whole thing is like dual wielding. He has lower shields but higher health, but more opportunities to heal himself with his skills. I just unlocked the third character, which is like a bird who doesn't have a shield. They have armor, so it doesn't restore automatically. But he has abilities that could restore his armor that let him play aggressively. That's really cool to play with. So the game's neat. Like there's some cool shit here to play around with. But even though the game is supposed to be done, I think, because I don't think it's in a game preview anymore. It's still got some jank to it, dude. That's like really annoying. Like the game, every time I boot it up, I got to go back into the graphical settings and change it. The game, for some reason, defaults to 4K with a lot of the graphical settings set to low, which is like super annoying. So I have to, every time I boot it up, I have to like change it to 1080p, change the graphical settings up to high, because it's not a graphically intensive game. So I don't know why it defaults to that. But it doesn't save it whenever I fucking change it. I like to change some of my control options too. It doesn't save any of those whenever I boot it up. I don't know why. And when I first started playing it, I had a lot of trouble with the game just randomly crashing. And you can look at the reviews on the Game Pass page, and people are I'm not the only one, but probably people are complaining that it's crashing. They just released an update for it, a pretty sizable update, and I'm not having those problems anymore. But I still have to change the fucking graphical settings every time I boot it up, and that's annoying as hell. Sometimes audio just doesn't work. Like I'll be in the middle of a level and the music will just stop. I don't know why it's doing that. And I've checked some stuff online. A bunch of people have been having that same problem too, so it's not just me. Like there's a lot of like little things that are fucking annoying to deal with. But when the game works, dude, it is so fucking good. I'm having so much fun with it. And it's a huge bummer because it's got that potential. It's got some mad potential to be something fucking incredible. But it just needs to get out of its own way because it's not perfect. It's not working yet. Even though it's supposed to be done, it's not in game preview anymore. It's not in early access anymore. It still feels like it is. But god damn, dude, when the game is fun, it is so much fun. I got to the end of it for normal difficulty, so I unlocked the next step up, which is like elite. And that's when I'm starting to really see the cracks in the game. Enemies take a lot of damage before they go down. And it's really hard to get to a point where you're comfortably taking them down when you start a run on that difficulty. And I'm starting to notice a lot of the cracks in the gameplay from that. Like you really need to like come out the gate like optimizing your character to make progress on those difficulties, or I guess play with friends. I haven't tried that yet, so maybe that might like quell some of those issues I'm having with the difficulty. But
yeah.
goddamn, dude, like
It's probably
the game
balanced
is
for
fun.
multiple
Maybe,
players.
maybe. But when the game is working, dude, it is so much fun. You can do some cool shit when you get the right build going, when you get the right skill set up, when the RNG gods want to grant you just the right combination of things. It can be a fucking blast, dude. But it's getting to that point that's like really tough. Like the third character I was mentioning, I haven't been able to consistently get a good build with him going because so much of his stuff relies on like getting the right build up for the right skills that the game doesn't give it to you. It's really, really hard to make any headway with them. And it sucks because the game can be really, really good when it wants to be. It's just getting to those points. I say give it another shot. Maybe with a friend, I'll play it with you if you want. If you still don't like it, I'm not gonna blame you. Like the game is fucking jank. It can be really jank sometimes. So I don't blame you. I almost turned it off the first time I tried it, but luckily my first run with it went pretty well. So I was like, okay, I can see the potential here. It's just getting to that potential is going to be the hardest part. Hopefully, we can get some more patches, some more updates for it. They're a Chinese developer, I think, so I think a lot of their attention went to like the mobile release of it because the game's on Android too, which I didn't know about till like you told me.
Yeah.
So maybe we just gotta wait for them to update a little bit more so it can run optimally on PC. But I can see the potential for it, dude. Like it's a lot of fun. The bit I was playing, so I'll have to wait see what they do with it. I played that quite a bit like yesterday. Like to give you an idea how much I liked it, I booted up yesterday. I was like, I'm gonna do one run while I have like dinner on the stove or something, or I have dinner in the oven. Do one quick run, and I ended up playing it for like 4 hours. Like it's that when it's good, it's that kind of game. It's that one more run game, you know. Um, yeah, I played quite a bit of that. I bought Resident Evil Village on sale. It was on G2A for like $20. I know G2A, but it's $20, dude. I couldn't pass it up. I'm looking for an excuse to buy that game forever.
Yeah.
And Village is fun. Like it's a lot of fun. I can see why people liked it so much when it came out. It reminds me a lot of Resident Evil 4 and the way the progression is. You can find treasure, you can trade it in to buy new equipment and stuff. And you know me, I fox with some Resident Evil 4 dudes. So anything that reminds me of that or is similar to that, I'm down. And that game does it hard. My only complaint with it, and it's something that nobody's talking about, enemies soak up so much fucking damage. It does the Resident Evil 2 thing where it has like a critical hit system. So if you wait for the reticle to like come to a center point, that attack actually does more damage. So if you're standing still, waiting for it to line up, you can do more damage with that shot. But if you're not doing that, enemies take for fucking ever to put down, which is fine for like a regular survival horror game when you're trying to be like a hybrid survival horror action. It could really bog down the action, make you feel like you're spending more resources than you need to. But it's a lot of fun. Like it's a lot of fun when I was playing through the game. Fucks up Ethan's hands so much. Like my god, that dude cannot catch a break. Every fucking cutscene, his hands are getting like bitten or like cut through or like stabbed or burned or infested with bugs. Someone's fucking up this dude's hand. I don't know what this dude's hands did in a past life, but they are fucking him up. And it's fun though. Like it's a lot of fun when I was playing through so far. I just got to Lady Dimitrescu's castle, so I'm playing through that. And it's kind of hard to play the game, one-handed, but I'm getting through it. That
Oh
was a
yeah.
crude joke. I'm sorry, but no.
No, I get it.
The settings, yeah, the settings cool. The settings really cool. It's like an Eastern European village, but everybody has American accents for some fucking reason. So that caught me off guard. There's supposed to be this like secluded mountain village in Europe, but everyone has an American accent. But it's cool what I'm playing through so far. The game gets fucking weird. There's like vampires and like metal monsters and werewolves, all kinds of shit. But it's fun. Like if you like Resident Evil 7, but you want something a little bit more action focused, RE Village is a good option to go with. You really can't go wrong with that. I also been playing a lot of Dragon Quest 11. I'm dedicated to finishing that game. I'm like 115 hours in it. I'm right at the end of the post game, and I gotta say, dude, this game has some of the best post game I've ever played in an RPG. Like the game had so much value, like right at the end of the game. I don't want to spoil it, but the game kind of has it's like Final Fantasy VI midpoint where like the bad guy wins, everything gets fucked up, and the post game after you beat him is like going back to fix that, which is really really cool. I've never seen a game do that before. but that opens up like a whole new like big bad you got to deal with, and like a ton of new dungeons to play around in, and it gives more backstory to like the hero before you, which is really neat. The game didn't have a lot of that when it started. Like I don't know why the post game stuff is optional, because like a lot of it is like super important to the story, but it's optional. Everyone says it's optional, but I don't agree with that. You got to play through it if you want to get the whole story of the game. And it's fucking dope, dude. Like it's Dragon Quest XI is one of the best turn-based RPGs I've played in a very long time. It's really, really good. It's so pure in what it does. It's the game is like refined turn-based JRPG to like perfection. I will argue it is like a borderline perfect turn-based JRPG. And yeah, go pick it up, dude. It's fucking dope. I got it on Switch, but I think it's on Game Pass, so try it out. It doesn't cost you anything. Just try it on Game Pass. And it's fucking good, dude. I love it. I'm dedicated to finishing that. I want to start up another RPG till I finish that. So once I beat that, I think I'm gonna go pick up Xenoblade Chronicles 3 because it's been on my list forever. But I told myself I'm
Ooh,
not gonna play another RPG until I beat this.
yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that's another one I've been super excited for because I fucking love Xenoblade 2. But I told myself like I'm not gonna buy another RPG until I beat Dragon Quest 11. 'Cause I've had that game for like 2 years, dude, and
Yeah.
I'm barely like making headway in it. So
I feel like I fucked myself on the Xenoblade franchise because the first and only one I played was Xenoblade Chronicles X, and I hated it.
yeah, you're telling me you didn't like it.
Even though
Like,
I put like 50 hours into it. Uh, is what happens after that 50 hours. That's like it's like a huge fuck you. And I was like, this game it sucks. Yeah. So
you're telling me like the big problem with Xenoblade, and it's like this is something that people don't really talk about, is the game takes forever to like get going. Like the game drip feeds you its mechanics and systems over
yeah.
dozens of hours. So you can play the game for like 20 hours and still like not get the full combat
But
system
that's
down
fine
yet.
though. Like that was fine for me. It was the problem was it it would make you do all these like side missions, and it would be like, hey, kill get 20 of this item, but it wouldn't tell you what dropped that item or where to find it, or it would tell you like the landmass in Xenoblade Chronicles X is like gigantic. So it would tell you like, oh, it's in this region, but that region would be like fucking the size of like California. So you'd be like, oh, it's in California. I was like, where the fuck in California is it?
Yeah,
Type
you're
shit.
telling me that
Or
too.
like, what do I kill here to find it? It's like that kind of shit. It's like it would tell you there's a huge swath of area to look, but it's like so huge that it basically doesn't help at all. So it
Yeah,
did that.
Xenoblade is like sometimes it's too big for its own good. That's something that nobody wants to talk about. People love talking about like how big these games are, but they're like they can be too big sometimes. They can be overwhelming sometimes, and
Yeah.
nobody wants to talk about that.
And then there was these huge like difficulty spikes from chapter to chapter. It would become significantly harder from one chapter to the next. And then I got to like chapter I think it was like chapter 10 where it was like, "Hey, we know you love using these characters, but we're going to force you to get your relationship rank up with these characters you've never used." Just so you can progress the story. So good luck with that. And then that's when I turned it off and just fucking deleted it. I was like, there's no way. There's no way I'm doing that. So yeah. But it
In
was a
Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the expansion, Torna, does the same fucking thing and it pisses me off. I almost dropped the game for it.
oh yeah, see that's
Yeah,
yeah.
it like forces you to like not do character relation stuff, but like you can do these side quests that like build up your reputation, I think is what it's called. And it forces you to do them to progress the game. There are points in the game where it's like, oh, you gotta get your reputation up at this level before you can continue. And it's not like, oh, if I did like a couple side quests leading up to it, I can do it. Like, no, you have to do like pretty much every side quest that comes your way. to like build up to it. It's super annoying. Like I
Yeah,
almost dropped it for that, but the story was really good, so that's why I kept going through it. Also, Torna's like a lot shorter than a regular Xenoblade game, but I can imagine if there was like a whole ass like 100+ hour RPG with that, I would turn it off.
yeah. Like that sounds better than like the relationship thing, because the relationship thing is you have to add these characters to your party and they're going to be weaker. You've already done 20 chapters and now it's saying, "Hey, use these characters that are level 1 still and get your relationship rank up." So you have to replace your good characters that you've been using the whole game with these weak
Yeah,
ones, and then on top of that, you have to use them enough that their relationship gets up, which you've already done all the side shit up to that point. So you're already low on content to do with those characters. It's like, I don't know, it's so backwards. So I was just like, nah.
yeah, no, I hear you. That would turn me off of it too. I say like if you could try it, try Xenoblade 2. I didn't have nearly like that kind of an issue with it.
Yeah.
And the story's like good. Like I had a lot of fun with the game. I still haven't beaten Xenoblade 1, even though I bought the remake for Switch. I bought Xenoblade 1 like twice. I bought it on new 3DS when it came out on that, and again on Switch when it got the definitive edition. And I still haven't beaten it. It's nothing wrong with the game. It's just like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 does so much to like improve the combat that going back to 1 kind of feels a little archaic to me.
Yeah.
And I know there's probably some people who are listening to me like, what are you talking about? Xenoblade 2's combat was garbage. 1 was way better, but no, I don't
Yeah.
agree with that.
That's why you should always play things in release order. Or even like if there's like a movie franchise, you should do everything in the order that they released, because the advancements in technology is a huge benefit to a
Yeah,
long running franchise.
yeah, going back to earlier stuff, like you see the growing pains with it, but you're
Yeah,
not there to grow with it, so it affects the score overall. And
yeah,
that's what I have with Xenoblade, and it's not a bad game. It's just I feel like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 did so much to improve it, which is funny because like the definitive edition came out like after 2, so you'd think like some of that stuff would be added to it. Some of it did. There was some quality of life stuff that made the game more comfortable to play, but the core of the game was still the same. So I just need to finish it. I know if I like buckle down and do it, I'll probably get super into it later. I heard the game opens up the combat a lot more later, but I just haven't given it a fair shot yet. And yeah, that's all I've been playing. I haven't really been playing too much, just those 3 games. I'll probably have Dragon Quest 11 like fully finished by this time next week, so I can talk more about that then. But I'm having a blast with that. Um, let's get into the news now, everybody. PlayStation VR2 launch date, price in games. We got source from PlayStation.
Snowman 9000 in the chat said God of War Ragnarok expectations or thoughts on it dropping next week. Um,
I've
Probably
heard a
gonna be game of the
lot
year.
about it.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be game of
people
the
are
year.
already like giving it rave reviews. I think IGN gave it like a 10 out of 10.
I might
So I don't
like
know if you care about IGN, but
I might rob someone for their PS5 just to play it, or just buy one if I can. But I want to play it on the PS5. I have no reason to get one, and God of War is like the only reason I need to get one right now.
same. Like it
So
looks good, but I need to go back and finish the first God of War. I'll probably like pick up the first God of War on like PC to like hold me over, and then play Ragnarok when that drops on, or not on PS4, sorry, PC, and then play Ragnarok on PC whenever they decide to drop that.
yeah, and they're finishing the story with this one too. It's not a trilogy. It's just 2 games and they're done.
Yeah,
So
which is cool. Like it's good that they have like a set story, what they know, what they want to do, and this is it. Like that's cool for them to. They could totally milk this, and it would have made money, but
yeah,
they stuck to their guns. They have a set story they want to tell, and they're going to finish it with this. I think that's really cool. Too many developers like don't get the chance to like wrap their game up how they want because the publisher wants them to keep like dropping games for it. So good
yeah.
on them for like letting that happen. But yeah, I've heard good things about it, dude. Like, oof, I want to pick it up now. Like,
It's gonna be
Everyone's
like
talking about how great it is.
the game of the year discussion right now is like between God of War and Elden Ring, which I played Elden Ring and that game is fucking dog shit. So
Yeah, well, you don't
uh,
like Souls games, so
I don't like Souls games, but that's the thing. Elden Ring is supposed to be this fucking revolutionary goddamn. Oh, it's the man. They changed everything, man. Look, oh, it revolutionized the open world. It's complete. They're never gonna do a game like this again. And then you play it, and it's just the same fucking goddamn shit. And you're like, what am I missing? What am I missing, guys? It's just a fucking Dark Souls game. Calm down.
yeah,
So
I didn't see. I watched my brother play it because he had it, and I didn't see too much of it separated from Dark Souls. I like the open world stuff of it. You know, go where you want, kind of like
yeah,
explore. But like, I'll argue Breath of the Wild does that better, and even before that, Metal Gear Solid 5 did that better. So yeah, I
yeah,
don't know what revolutions the people are talking about because, like I said, Metal Gear Solid 5, Breath of the Wild, like like, I think they're like great examples of like open world games that just nail the open world formula. So
yeah.
I don't see what Elden Ring's doing differently. Maybe I just got to pick it up and play it. I'll understand it.
I
But
I want to go
yeah, I
back
don't.
to it just so I can play. What I want to do is go through all the Dark Souls games because I own them all. I've tried playing Dark Souls 1 at least like 6 or 7 times, and I always drop it at the same spot. It's like Blight Town. Is that the one where it's like
Oh, the poison swamp thing.
that
Yeah,
might be it? Yeah, it's like I
yeah. I
always
hear that's
drop
where
it.
most people like drop it.
I just need someone to just carry me through that game
Maybe.
and call it. Yeah,
You might like Neo 2 actually, because it's a lot like Dark Souls, but it's more action focused
yeah. And you were
and
saying
I
it's
would
like
say
more
it's
like
not quite as
Diablo and
punishing.
shit.
A lot more like Diablo, yeah. It's got like loot, randomly generated loot that can drop, and
Yeah.
the
Well, because the
RPG
only
systems are
I don't
fucking cool,
I
dude.
don't hate Souls games because I really like Bloodborne. I've finished Bloodborne and I finished the DLC for that game,
You
and
would
I
love
even
Neo then. You would love Neo.
yeah, and Sekiro I think is really good, even though it's too hard for me.
Yeah.
But I really like it though. Uh, so like I do like the idea of the Souls game. I just don't like those specific Souls games. Yeah.
Yeah, like Souls isn't for everybody, and like I thought I didn't like Souls games for the longest time either until I played Neo. And I'm like, no, I just don't like the regular Souls formulas. Like Souls games can be really good. I just don't like the standard formula. Like I love Neo, I love Salt and Sanctuary. So yeah, give Neo 2 a shot. I think you'll like that a lot more if you like more action focused games.
Yeah.
But where were we? Yeah, God of War Ragnarok, probably gonna be game of the year. Uh, it's gonna be a fight, I think, with that and Elden Ring, but
For me right now,
I
it's Tunic. So,
yeah.
and I don't know if it's gonna beat Tunic for me. Tunic is not. There's some negatives to Tunic that I can just that I can't brush off. But God of War, if it's just another good God of War, I don't know if that's enough for me. So
I think the story is gonna be like the make or break for it, honestly.
yeah, but see, I can get a story. I can get a good story from a movie, which is I would rather watch a good story than play it in a video game.
That depends for me. Like the story needs to be like really tailor made for like a game. Like Undertale, I'll argue, is like the best video game story I've ever played because it only works as a game.
Yeah, but see, you
Um,
did. But see, you didn't play Outer Wilds.
I played it, I just hadn't finished it. I got
Oh
like
yeah,
a
see,
couple hours into it. But my problem is that like Outer Wilds is not a game I can play like passively. Like I need to like this
yeah,
is like what I'm making time in my week for with Outer Wilds.
yeah.
Yeah, so I gotta just sit down and play that. I plan on it because you got it for me. So I plan on doing it.
I
I
get it for
will play it and
everyone.
beat it one day. Yeah,
Anyone
I
who
know
has
you
it in their
too.
wish list, I was like, I'm sending you Outer Wilds. Yeah,
Yeah, I know. You sent me Outer Wilds and you sent me Tales from the Borderlands, and I still have to finish both of them.
yeah. Which I have the new one. I expect to play it today. So
Good. Yeah, tell me
yeah,
what you think, because you love the first one.
yeah. This one's not gonna meet that quality, but it'll
Yeah. But
curious about it.
yeah. Yeah, we kind of hit a little tangent there. So sorry, I know you want us to talk about God of War, but both of us haven't played it yet, so I'll pick it
No,
up on PC though, for sure. Um PlayStation VR, yeah, we finally got a release date and price point for the VR2. It's launching February 22nd for $549.99. The bundle includes Horizon Call of the Mountain for $599, and a controller charging dock is about $49.99. Also, 11 games were announced for it. Do we have a list for those games yet? Or
yeah, that's the second link. The second link
oh
there.
shit.
New
Okay.
games.
Oh right, yeah, the big blue link that says new games. I'm a fucking idiot. Oh wow, yeah, there's a
Um,
couple games here. Dark Pictures. They have a new rail shooter.
it looks garbage. I don't know why we're doing rail shooters, dude. I mean, come on.
So I played the first one
Yeah,
on the original VR, and it's not bad because the game takes into account that like you're on. It's literally a rail shooter, like you're on a roller coaster.
I could play this at
And
Universal Studios, man. Like this is
well, what
not.
makes it cool is that like it takes into account that like you're a body in a roller coaster, so you need to like physically take cover on it or like physically move out of the way.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's just
And
dumb
it's pretty cool. I think so too. I think like I
because there's
wouldn't pay
games
like
there's games that
money
are
for it.
not on rails where you still
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, don't get
So
me wrong. It's a good rail shooter, but it's not like if it came bundled with it, it's a cool like proof of concept, but I wouldn't pay money for it.
wait, did they say Hillary Duff is in this? Are there names in this? Is that what I
Very
saw?
Duff. Where'd
Oh
you see
no,
that?
I didn't see that. Never mind.
You're tripping, dude.
Yeah, I've been up for a while, so
For a while, so yeah. Crossfire Sierra Squad also got announced for
now
it.
this game looks good. If I were to
Yeah,
buy, I'm hoping this hits other like shit on PC because this looks fucking good.
yeah. This looks awesome.
Yeah, this is what I
Like
want
that's
out of
back.
VR, dude. I'm running around. I'm totally free to do move and shoot how I want. This looks great.
Yeah, this looks awesome. Like this and Boneworks are like, or Bone Lab, is that what it's called? They're like the two like
Yeah,
games that show off like how cool VR could be. Light Brigade also coming out. It's like a roguelike shooter. Looks cool. This looks like another one that could be fun. It's not on a rail, so
yeah. We don't have to talk about all these
cities
games. Actually,
we don't.
none of
Okay,
the
good.
other ones are any good.
Yeah, I was gonna say none of them like look interesting like at all.
They put the good two on top, and the rest of them are just like nah.
Pistol Whip looks pretty cool.
Yeah, Pistol Whip is cool. It's been out already though. A lot of these have been out, and they're just ports. Um, a lot of them you get if you own them on PSVR 1, you get them on the new system, which is good because they said those games aren't compatible. So you have to get it's a different version of the same game.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool that they're compatible at least, or that
Um,
you have a chance to play them again
but
at least.
we haven't talked about the the fucking elephant in a room.
Okay.
The fucking thing costs $550.
Yeah,
Uh,
that is insane. Like, it's hard to justify, especially since like Oculus is priced pretty comparatively for much better specs. Like,
yeah, which the price itself for just the headset is fine. The price for the headset is fine, but it's the fact that you have to also own the PS5, which is also another $600.
yeah,
Uh,
that's
so
crazy, dude. That's crazy.
like if I could buy this and use it on my PC, I would do that. Like in a heartbeat, I would pre-order this thing right now and be like, "Oh yeah, fuck the," because the Valve Index is $1,000. Um, and this does more. This is better than that. So, like, yeah, I would
Yeah,
like,
but the cost of entry is a PS5 though.
yeah,
So
and that's the problem. So, and then not only that, but I'm locked to whatever is only on the PS5. So
yeah,
I can't use it on the PC, which already has a whole slew of VR games that I could just load up and play. So
yeah, exactly. So that's why like it's a tough sell, dude. It's a really tough sell, at least for me it is, because like anybody who's like an aficionado for VR already has a PC and a VR headset. You know, they probably already have an Oculus. So this is for like, you know, those more price conscious, those more price conscious consumers who want to get into VR but don't want to drop like VR money, but they're still asking for VR money. Like
yeah,
it's a tough sell. I hope it does well. I really do because I want VR to be more popular. I want VR to become mainstream enough that it's affordable for everybody. But yeah, this price point is really hard to justify, especially since it's so fucking hard to find a PlayStation 5 right now, and you need that to fucking run it. Like, I don't
yeah.
know.
I'd be curious to see how well this does. Um,
Yeah, same. I want to see sales figures, and I
because
hope it does well enough to warrant a shift in the market, but I don't know.
it's genuinely a great headset. It's genuinely a great piece of hardware, and
Yeah,
for just the headset itself, if I could use it on anything, that'd be fine. It'd be a fine price. But since I have to own a PS5 to use it, that's not fine. That's the problem. So I don't know. Maybe sometime down the line they'll put out some like official PC support for it, and maybe do it that way.
hopefully.
If they're like, they're trying to get into PC shit, so maybe that's something they're planning on doing. But
Maybe. We'll have to
right
wait and
now,
see.
you know, for me,
Oh,
dog.
yeah, same, dude. I'm like, nah, it's way too much. Coming soon to Game Pass. You know, we love talking about Game Pass here on the show, man. We got Legend of Tianding coming out. That's available right now on Game Pass. It's a really cool looking side-scrolling beat 'em up. It looks fun as hell. Walking Dead, New Frontier, the complete season, Walking Dead Michonne, the complete season are both available now on Game Pass for PC. Ghost Song, it's a side-scrolling Metroidvania that looks fucking awesome, kind of
I
leaning more
did.
towards the Metroid
I
side.
played that. I played that.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
it's
sent
good.
me a code for that like a couple days ago. I played it.
Yeah,
And okay, so you said Metroidvania. I'm just say straight up, it's a Metroid game. Like
yeah. I was
straight
gonna
up.
say it leans more to the Metroid than the Vania.
It's like straight up Super Metroid. It even does the thing like it does things from like that Super Metroid did, and you look at it and you go, "Oh shit, they're doing that from Super Metroid." Because yeah, it's like straight up paying homage to Super Metroid.
Which is cool. I think Super Metroid's fucking dope.
And it's a cool game. It has voice acting too, which
Oh,
yeah,
wasn't I didn't notice that. I always watch the gameplay stuff without audio,
yeah.
so
And the robot is a girl, and yeah, she has like an arm cannon. Oh, what's cool about it is the more you shoot, the more your arm cannon heats up, and the less effective it is. The more you shoot, and it heats
oh,
up.
okay.
But the more it heats up, you have a melee attack. So your melee attack gets stronger the weaker your arm cannon gets.
I
So
like that.
it incentivizes you to like shoot and then like melee, which is really cool.
I like that. That sounds like a really cool gameplay loop. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm downloading that then. We'll give it a shot. It's on Game Pass, so it doesn't fucking cost me anything.
Yeah. There you go.
We also got a Football Manager releasing November 8th on PC and then November 8th on console. Wait, hold on. Yeah, Football Manager 2023 on PC, Football Manager 2023 console on Call in console. Okay.
On
Uh,
why is the okay, yeah, Football Manager 2023 on PC, but then also Football Manager 2023 console is coming to cloud, console, and PC.
I was gonna say, like, That's weird. What is it? Was that like on the official Xbox Wire page?
That's yeah, it's there. That's what it says.
That's okay.
Console version
I
is
wonder if that's a.
coming to PC.
I wonder why this is like what the differences are. Oh well, what I don't care.
Maybe
It's
it's just a
Football Manager. I
different
don't give a fuck.
version. Maybe it's like a different version that's like made specifically for like controller shit. Because I
Maybe.
don't know, those manager games are like those are like menu games. So
Yeah.
like yeah, maybe it's just they because it does say it's a tailored version of Football Manager.
It's got to be it. It's like a different version of it specifically to like play for console UI.
Yeah, which
I
is
don't know why
great.
I released a different game, but just have it as an option on the PC version. But whatever.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
giving this game way more attention than like it needs, I think. But no, like that looks. I mean, it's Football Manager, man. Like it's not made for us, but the people who it is made for are gonna buy it.
Yeah,
Return to Monkey Island is releasing on Cloud Console and PC November 8th. Vampire Survivors is finally coming to console November 10th. It's been on PC for a while, so go check it out. Pentiment is coming for Cloud Console and PC November 15th, and Somerville is coming out for console and PC November 15th.
yeah.
All in all, pretty solid lineup here. Legend of T Ending is something I've been want to check out for a while. Ghost Song looks really good.
Pentiment is the new Obsidian joint, so I feel like we've not
Oh
seen anything
yeah.
about that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It's like their Elder Scrolls, right?
No, 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 that's Avowed. No, the Obsidian's working on like 5 games. This
What the
is
hell
one
is
of
this?
yeah. This one they've not really talked about or shown anything. I just remember them announcing it and being like, "Yeah, it's like a story driven thing." People they've been saying like, it's like that one game that had like it has a bunch of choices and it's like story focused and you can like make choices and shit like that. But it's like
I like
deep
the art
choices.
style.
Yeah.
Yeah. The art style looks cool. It looks like a European painting. Okay, this is
Um,
pretty cool. Like
and
this
Somerville is
is like a little
also
different from Obsidian's normal wheelhouse though.
yeah, well, they've been doing different shit. They've been doing different shit. So
Oh yeah, they did what is it? That survival
grounded.
game. Yeah, Grounded. They did Grounded, which is also outside their wheelhouse, but this is like
Yeah.
really far out of it. I want to check this out now. This looks neat. I'll give it a shot. Like anything Obsidian puts out is like worth at least trying.
Yeah. And in Somerville looks
Oh,
dope. I've been watching that every time they show it. I'm like, oh, this looks dope. It's like a limbo.
oh yeah, yeah, I remember that. That looked cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff coming down the pipeline here, man. I can't wait to. I love Game Pass, dude. It's so convenient. I
Yeah.
just play all this cool shit without having to put any money down on it. Speaking of cool shit without putting money down on it, Vermintide 2 was free on Steam for like no reason. I'm not complaining. I've wanted to try it for a while. It's like a Left for Dead, right?
Yeah. Well, it's free, I guess, as a promotion for their fucking Dark Tide is coming out. So, and I think they put out like another piece of DLC for Vermintide. So,
That'd be cool
but
to try.
yeah, it's like a Left 4 Dead, but with like more RPG mechanics, I guess. I don't know. I've had that game for a while. I played it a little bit. It's cool. It's cool. It's dope.
Yeah, I heard it was good. I want to try it for a minute, but I don't know anything about Warhammer lore,
You don't need
so
to. You don't
you
need
don't
to.
need to.
Yeah,
All right,
it's
that's good. That is good because I don't know anything about it. So yeah, I don't know anything about Vermintide or Warhammer lore. So I'll give it a shot. I mean, it's free, so fuck it. Doesn't cost me anything but my time. And we got some new trailers coming out. Atomic Heart got an official release date trailer.
yeah.
I remember hearing about this game like what, like 8 years ago?
Yeah,
Like,
when they showed it, when it resurfaced again on whatever like Xbox conference it was, I was like, "What is this?" And then everyone was like, "Oh yeah, I've been following this game for like 12 years." And I was like, "What?" I've never heard of this until they like it resurfaced on that like recently. So
yeah, I heard about this game years ago, dude, and I remember like seeing a quick proof of concept on it, and I was like, this game's never gonna come out, but it looks incredible. And here we are, like fucking forever later, and I can't wait, dude. This looks incredible.
yeah, it looks dope. It looks like it reminds me of like Half Life.
Yeah, it's like Half-Life mixed with BioShock,
Yeah,
mixed with like Prey. Um, I don't know how much of an immersive sim it's gonna be. That's when I first heard about it. I was like, oh, this is gonna be like a new immersive sim. But it looks more like it's leaning towards like an action RPG. Well, I'm okay with like it's we got a release date finally, February 21st, 2023. Fuck, I can't wait for this game, dude. This looks so good.
yeah. A day one Game Pass too.
Yup. So there we go. Like, no fucking reason to give up Game Pass now because I've wanted to play this game forever and I finally get to do it because of Game Pass. So this is awesome. Yeah, I can't wait for this game to come out. I've been waiting for this for so long, dude. And then we got a new trailer for a game, Blight Survival, which looks interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's a survival horror game with zombies, but it's set in like medieval times. So like sword and board, armor. It's cool. Like I like the concept here. Like zombies are such a flexible thing. I wish they were in like more mediums. Like post-apocalyptic zombie stories, like a dime a dozen. I want to see zombie stories in like different time settings. And this
yeah,
is cool. Like I liked what I was seeing here.
it's
Like it looks,
also co-op. It has co-op too,
yeah,
which I'm like,
yeah. The developers describe it as a action horror roguelite with up to 4-player co-op, which could be cool. Like I'm kind of getting sick of roguelites, but this looks like it's different enough on the formula that I'll have some fun with it.
yeah,
Like all we've got to see so far is this reveal trailer. It's like 5-minute trailer. And already I'm seeing things like he's looting stuff, he's getting like equipment, and then he runs into a buddy later and they take on some like what look like bandits, but I'm not sure. And the combat's like really weighty, it's really heavy, kind of like what you expect from like medieval combat. And it's really violent. Like when he hits somebody with his shield, they like explode, which is cool. It looks really satisfying too. Like I'm into it so far. I really like what I'm seeing of it so far. We'll have to wait to see when it comes out if it like keeps that momentum going. But I like what I'm looking at here, dude.
yeah. The only thing that looks not great is the level design. It looks like just like a like one of those like corridor games, but hallway is but it looks wider than it is because you're outside, but you can only there's like set paths you can go down.
Yeah, I was kind of getting that vibe too. Hopefully, that's just like for this demonstration.
Yeah,
And I assume the game's going to be more open. I mean, you can't have a survival game that's not really open, but we'll see.
yeah.
But yeah, it looks cool so far. Like I liked what I was seeing here. The dude sneaking around in a suit of armor is kind of unrealistic. Like if you're in a full suit of armor like that, you're not crawling around, I think, but whatever. But no, it looks cool, dude. Like I liked what I was seeing here. This game came out of nowhere, and the internet's been kind of blowing this game up, which I'm cool to see. Yeah, this looks awesome. I can't wait for it to come out. We don't have a release date for it yet, right? Just that reveal trailer.
Yeah, I think that was all.
That's a bummer. I want to know when it's coming. You know what game that no one talks about anymore, and it reminded me of this because someone called it like, oh, it's like medieval Last of Us, which it's not, but whatever. But hearing that reminded me of that other like survival game Remember the day before? Remember that?
Yeah, yeah. No, that they are active on that. They do put stuff out.
Yeah, I
It's
haven't heard
on
anything about it in like forever. It got
it,
announced like a year ago. I haven't heard anything about it since.
it's on Steam now. I mean, it's not
Is
out
it?
yet, but they have like a Steam page.
Yeah, I remembered that when somebody like talked about Last of Us with this, and I was like, oh right, there's that like obviously Last of Us inspired survival game that was supposed to be coming out.
Yeah, that's March 1st next year. But yeah, they've
Yeah,
been putting stuff out. They've been putting stuff out for this. You just haven't seen it.
yeah. Well, no one's talking about it now, so I know we got some releases coming up, man. So November today, or sorry, tomorrow, November Tuesday. God damn it, November 8th. We got A Little to the Left dropping on PC. Football Manager is coming to Game Pass as well as PS5 and mobile. Sonic Frontiers is coming out November 8th. I forgot this game was happening.
This game leaked on Switch and PS4,
Was
so
it
it is
was it
out
good?
there. People are saying it's like fucking good.
I
People are
don't
saying
know,
it's good,
man.
man.
A good
I mean,
Sonic game.
I don't know, man, but people are saying they're saying it's good. They put out this like anime. They put out like a Knuckles anime prologue for it.
Oh yeah.
I didn't watch it, but it looked like it was good. um, yeah, I don't know, dude. I think I'm going to get this. So
Okay, go ahead. Tell me what you think, because
yeah,
I'm not gonna waste my money on it. I'll wait
yeah.
for it to come on like PS Plus or something like a year later. We got God of War Ragnarok dropping November 9th. Police Simulator Patrol Officers is dropping November 10th. Isn't that the game you played in that demo derby like forever ago?
uh,
Or is
it
this
might
different?
it might not be this one. It's hard to tell because they both look as equally shitty. Uh, but I don't know. It could be this. I don't know, or it's a different version.
Why would I? I'm looking at this Police Simulator game and I'm like, it doesn't let you shoot innocent people and get away with it, so I think I'm out. It's not a
Yeah,
real police experience.
yeah. How do you call this a simulator? Look at this roadblock that he put up. Like it's not stopping anyone.
Did you see the way that car moved around? It did not move around like a real car. It's like, what the hell is this? Okay, so it's like gestures and stuff you can do. That's pretty cool. Like they put some work into this, I think. But again, I don't.
Yeah,
I mean, if you live in America, you know what the opinion is on police here. So
you gotta get a traffic cop.
yeah, yeah, whatever. The game will come out. We'll see what people have to say about it. It's probably going to be like that new like meme simulator game everyone's obsessed with till the next one comes out.
I mean, this has been out. Well, I guess early access maybe.
Yeah, and then November 11th, we got last but not least Tactics Ogre Reborn dropping on PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, and Valkyrie Elysium dropping on PC. Valkyrie Elysium actually looked pretty good. Like it looks like a fun like little
Yeah,
action game.
yeah. That's already on PlayStation. No one's talking about it though. But
Yeah, I wanted to play it when it first got announced because Platinum was working on it, but they've been dropped from the project and Square's developing it in house now. So I was like a lot less interested about it when I heard about that.
Real is back says thoughts on Square decisions on reviving a lot of old titles.
I'm here for it, dude. Like,
Yeah, I um a lot of the old Square shit I never played because I never had like a they were like strictly like PlayStation and I just never had a PS1, so I never played any like the Valkyrie games. Uh, I hadn't played most of the Final Fantasies until like I mean I got caught up on those pretty quickly, but there's like a lot of Square backlog, like Parasite Eve. I think
Yes, I was about to
Parasite,
say.
yeah, like that shit. People, there was a game that was coming out that people thought was like a follow up to Parasite Eve, and then they were like, "No, guys, this is not. This ain't it."
Oh, I remember that. There's like a announcement for a Parasite Eve project, and it was like an NFT.
Yeah, yeah.
Jesus
Um,
Christ!
but if they
But
do it
no,
like
I'm into
this,
it.
like this Valkyrie
Yeah.
game is like, this looks dope. You know, so even like Final Fantasy VII remake, like that's the level of quality I want out of a remake. If you're gonna do a remake, that's what I want.
Yep. Same. If I want to see standards of like the FF7 remake, the RE2 remake, the RE4 remake that's coming out. Like that's what I want to see when
Yeah,
a game gets remade. And hopefully with Square kind of going through their backlog, we can see some more stuff we haven't seen in a while. Like I would love, absolutely love to see a new Parasite Eve game because right now all the Parasite Eve games they put out are on PS1 and PSP.
yeah.
So I would love to see like a remake of that. That would be incredible.
The third
And
birthday. I played the third
yeah,
birthday on PSP. That game was dog shit.
that's what I heard, and
I
I
remember
never played it.
it had the feature where like if you took too much damage, your clothes would like peel off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the first Parasite Eve was fucking dope. Like I still think that game holds up. Like it's crazy how much fun that game still is. It's a really cool like active time battle RPG system, and it's legit like a really creepy game with some amazing visuals for the time. I would love to see another Parasite Eve game. We're probably not going to get one because it's based on a book, and I don't think Square Enix wants to foot the cash to
Oh, is it really?
license it. Yeah, it is. It's based on a book. In fact, the game is like a sequel to the book. Have you played the first Parasite Eve at all?
I didn't play any of them except the third
Oh,
birthday.
okay then. But yeah, that's why Third Birthday wasn't called Parasite Eve, like because they didn't have the license to it, but they still had the rights to, like their character, and that's also why it doesn't like reference any of like the Parasite Eve stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Um, I think the problem with a lot of the remakes is that they touch the graphics in bad ways. I think that's a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
people's problems with it. Is like they'll do like pixel remaster and then like it'll look like shit, and people are like, "What the fuck did you do to my graphics? What did you do to my Final Fantasy VI?"
I mean, like it's there's a way to do it. Like, what was that game that just came out? Fucking, oh my god, that like time travel RPG, not Chrono Trigger. Like it just came out.
Harvestella.
Fuck. No, 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 no. It's like a remake. It never came
Oh,
out here in the States. It only came out in Japan. So that's why it was like a big deal that it was coming out. It was pixel based.
oh, the the 12 centuries.
Oh, god damn it. Um, god damn it. This is gonna
I know which
drive me
one you're talking
crazy.
about. The Switch one, right?
Yes. God damn it. What was it called? Someone in the chat like help.
Nobody's watching this.
Oh, this is gonna drive me crazy, dude.
Some of
Fucking
these
damn it.
pixel shits look dope
Live
though.
Alive. Live Alive. That was it.
Live Alive.
Yeah. Yeah, because like a lot of their pixel stuff is doing their like the same like HD pixel engine they
Yeah,
had for Octopath Traveler, which was like dope. Like I think the presentation was my favorite thing about Octopath Traveler. So I
yeah.
want to see more games do that because it's a cool like mix of old and new, with modern graphical sensibilities like
That's more
modern lighting and
interesting.
stuff.
I think the problem
Yeah.
people have is with the like, well, like they'll do like the Final Fantasy like six thing, and then
They just
They'll
put a
like,
filter over it and it looks like dog shit.
I don't know if it's a filter. They just redraw the graphics, or they redraw the pixel art, and it's just not
Yeah,
good.
I know
Yeah,
what you mean. Like Chrono Trigger was really bad with it because it looked like fucking terrible.
yeah.
Like they have an option for the original pixels, but they also have like an option for their like redone graphics, and it looks like dog shit. Like Chrono's hair looks like a bushel of bananas. It's insane. I don't know if if it's a filter like a texture over it or something, but it looks terrible.
I don't think it's a filter. I think they redid the graphics.
How
That's
can you
that's the
like
thing. They just
put in the
redid it.
work to redraw that and like
Because I think they
not?
already did it. I think these are mobile ports because they had already had all these games out on like Android
Yeah.
and shit. So I think they just like started pushing them out to other platforms. What I think happened. So someone did that work.
Someone did that work, thought it looked good, and then put it out for
Yeah,
release.
completely new graphics and audio. So they touched the audio too.
I remember that. That was like a big
Yeah,
controversial
I will
thing
say
too.
it's sitting at 94% positive. So
Yeah.
maybe people aren't as upset. Maybe it's just like this one specifically. I thought it was like Legend, like Secret of Mana. People were fucking pissed at.
Yeah, people were pissed at Secret of Mana. I'm trying to think like what else. See, if they did what they did with Live Alive for these games, I think it'd be incredible. I would love to see that. I doubt they're ever gonna do it though.
I didn't have a problem with this though. The Secret of Mana one, like I thought this was fine. I don't know. Some people were just super purist about it. I don't know. I thought this was okay.
Yeah, I don't know what the problem was with that one. I know
I
a lot of people didn't like it.
I had different problems with this game because
Oh yeah.
mechanically they didn't do shit, and that's
Oh
where the game
yeah.
needed to work. It was like like one of the biggest problems this game had is you'd get items and you'd open up your inventory and you look through it and none of the items have fucking descriptions on them. So you don't
Oh
know what
yeah.
shit does until you eat it. And you're like, "Oh fuck, I just wasted my revive item, the one revive item I had cuz I thought it was a cure." Like that kind of shit. They didn't fix that at all.
Yeah.
Which is my problem.
Which is weird because like, this is like on border like a shot for shot remake of like the first Secret of Mana. It's like an overhead, our action RPG. But
Yeah.
then they released the sequel to that. What is it?
Legend.
Oh god, like Legend of Mana, something like that. And
Uh,
that was like a full remake. Like, yeah, voice acting. It was like a third person action game. Like, it didn't do the overhead thing at all. Like, it was a totally different game
Trials.
from like the original Pixel game. That Trials of Mana, that was it. Later on, the game was still kind of jank, like a PS2 game, but it was like charming in a way of like a PS2 game.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish they had done that for Legend of Mana instead. Like don't even make it like similar to the first one, just do something totally different. But whatever.
It's weird,
I mean,
man.
yeah, it's weird. Like the thing is the people choose to like hold on to it, these remakes like don't make any sense. Like they if you're gonna do like if you're gonna keep all the archaic, like old school stuff, like just do a remaster of it, then don't even remake it. And if you're gonna remake it like for modern sensibilities. Like you brought up the FF7 remake is a great example of it. The RE2 remake is a great example of that. It doesn't make sense.
They should do two versions of if you're gonna like remake a thing, they should do two versions. They should put one version out that's just the game as you remember it, except it's that SNES game, but it's on modern platforms. Same game, it's just on you can play it on your PS4 now. Or you can play it on your PS5 or it's on PC
Yeah.
now. So you don't have to pirate the game or like emulate it. We're just going to give you that game in its original form on modern platforms. Do that, and then also do okay. But we're going to take that old game. We're going to remake it for a modern audience. So we're gonna
Yeah,
make
they
it.
did that with FF7. Like the same time the FF7 remake got announced,
Yeah,
they announced like a port of FF7 HD.
yeah. Where they're also doing like 20 different versions of FF7.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah, they're doing like the original version, and then there's like the full on remake, and then there's also like a half in between where it's like the old game, but with like they're doing that with
yeah.
like
What was it?
updated
Before
story and graph.
Crisis or something?
Yeah, yeah.
That mobile game that I don't know what the fuck it is.
Oh
But
yeah.
it's supposed to retell the story of like FF7, Dirge of Cerberus,
Yeah, it's supposed to merge
um,
everything into one.
Crisis Core.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's like a free to play mobile game, so I don't know how the fuck it's doing that.
yeah,
And they had that battle royale that like shut down like less than a year.
yeah. I wanted to try that before. Yeah, I think it's still up. I think I'd still try it, but I'm just curious about it.
Yeah, I'm curious on it too, but oh well, it's shut down now, so whatever. Oh man, there's like so much stuff like I want to see happen that's just not happening, and I'm kind of bummed out about it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh
yeah.
well.
I think
Yeah, that's yeah. What you said?
Oh, this at some point people figured out that they could sell games for the least amount of effort and more money,
Yep.
or just milk people for. I think money came into the equation in a way that it wasn't back in the days. So they started
I mean,
optimizing for profits.
yeah, and I think that's what like led to the decay we're seeing in game. Like, there's still some good games out there, but something was lost definitely in this modern generation of gaming.
This
There's still
Trials
some
game
solid
looks
games
dope.
coming out. Trials of Mana.
Yeah, this looks dope.
It's not bad. It's pretty good. I liked it. And like I said, it's got some PS2 jank, but it's fun. Like it's a fun
Yeah.
PS2 jank game. I say give it a shot. How much is it?
Let's see. $42, but it's been down to 15. So maybe I'll
I
wait
would
for it
say
to.
it's worth like the 40, but yeah, if you can wait, definitely wait till like 20. I think is the most I would pay for it. I never finished it, but it's fun. It's a fun time. Actually, no, as good as that game is, East Lacrimosa of Dana is I think better.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's one you should try. Like I've said it before, but East is like what I wanted Tails to be. And I know there's some like Tails fans out there. They're like, how could you say that?" Like, I'm sorry, your games are not fun.
Tales of
I'm
Symphonia
sure.
is the only good one. So
So you say that, but like,
it looks like
why?
shit. It looks like shit, but it's the story. It's the story, dude. Like the story is just great. It's great.
See, with East, at least with Lacrimosa, that's the only East game I've really played. It's not the story, it's the gameplay that I really like.
Yeah.
The gameplay is fucking choice, dude. It's really good.
Yeah, I'd say maybe the gameplay doesn't hold. It's definitely like old school, not old school, but it was PS2, GameCube era, so
My
turn based
problem
type
is that
shit.
like, yeah,
It's like
because
well, it's
it's
not
like
turn based. It's action, but you like go into a zone and then it's real time combat once you're in the zone.
yeah, like the thing is, it's this weird like in between where it's not quite like an action game.
It's more like it controls like a fighting game where you can do like you do up A and it knocks them into the air, and you can do air combos, and then you do a down like finishing move that takes it back to the ground. Um, and it's got like you have a party of four, so your four party members can actually contribute to. You can tell them to do a certain attack whenever you want. So like when you knock them in the air, you can tell them, okay, do that attack, and then yeah, it plays like a fighting game almost, like a tag
Yeah,
fighting game.
yeah, but it's not quite like as dynamic as I would like it to be.
Yeah,
At least, like, because I went into this expecting like, I think it's my fault because I went into expecting like Devil May Cry, and
yeah, it's
that's
not.
not what it is. That's not what
Yeah,
it's trying to do. But that's what it looks like it's trying to do when you see like all the gameplay trailers, and I'm like, well, this is. It feels like turn-based combat in real time. The best way I can describe it. Like it's hard to explain, but like if you go into this expecting an action game, that's not what you're getting. It is an RPG
yeah.
first and foremost. But also like FF7 remake kind of does that too, and I'll argue the combat system and that's better than Tales, but
Oh,
I don't
it's
know.
worse. It's worse. Well, that's the thing. It
FF7
depends.
remake?
It depends on what Tales you're talking. Because the recent Tales games are worse than the old Tales games. Because
Really?
the old Tales games were straight. They were like side scrolling. Like they were straight up like fighting games. Because there was side scrolling. It were 2D. So there was no like you couldn't run around the arena. You would just run forward and run back like a 2D fighting game. And then so your up was literally your jump or your up like air attack, and then your
Okay.
down was like your down attack. So in the new ones, it's more freedom of movement, like 3D freedom of movement, and I think it's worse for that.
Yeah?
Uh,
Okay.
yeah,
That's interesting to hear then. That is really interesting to hear. I maybe I do need to go back and play the older ones then. Is Symphonia kind of like that or
Symphonia is that. To yeah, Symphonia is that.
like the
And then
3D?
it does a thing where the more you use your special attacks, you can level up your special attacks and they evolve into like new attacks, and then you can like there's a whole like it doesn't tell you this. It doesn't tell you this. Maybe it tells you this, but the more you use different attacks, they level up, and then you can chain them together. So if you learn like two different attacks, you can learn an attack that like combines both of those attacks. The more you use them, like there's a counter on each skill you have, and they evolve the more you use them. So it does shit like that too, which is really cool. Symphonia is just fucking good, man. It's just a good fucking game. It just
But
looks like
like
shit. It just looks like
have,
shit. You look at it and you go, "What the fuck is this?" I did the same thing, but then I played it and I was like, "Dude, this game is incredible." Yeah,
obnoxious that it runs at like 30 FPS though. Like that's like probably gonna be the make or break for me, honestly, is the frame rate.
I don't know if they did like remaster it. I don't know if it's still 30, but it's like it's fine even if it is. Like
Yeah, I hear like the new remake coming out for is supposed to be pretty solid, but that's not coming out for a little while.
they're doing another one for it.
Not a remake, it's like a remaster. I think it's just the HD remaster we got, but for like modern systems.
See, that's how you know that game is good because they re-released it. They're gonna remake it 3 times.
Oh, I learned something interesting about it that I didn't know. Apparently, like the port that we got, the reason the HD port that we got is 30 FPS is because it's based on the PS2 port of the game, which I
Oh,
guess like only came out in Japan.
yeah.
I might be totally wrong on this, but it came out in Japan with like a bunch of extra content that wasn't in the original game. So the HD version that we're playing isn't the GameCube original. It's like a remaster of the PS2 game. That's why it runs at 30 FPS because the frame rate's like built into the game.
Weird.
Yeah, because apparently the GameCube version ran at 60, which is like crazy to me that like that's still a problem now. They don't just put the work in to bump up the frame rate or whatever. I don't think I'm ever gonna be happy with that game, honestly, because like I don't know, like how much does the frame rate get in the way of the game, like really? Because if it's like an action game, I'd want it to run at 60, but if it's not like that big of a deal, you've played it more than I have. Like, what do you think? Does the frame rate like really affect it that much?
Well, I've only ever played the GameCube version, so I don't know
Ah,
if that was 60. I don't remember if that was 60 then, but I don't think that would get in the way of anything. It's not like a it's like it's not like a tight game at all. It's like not that tight, in terms of
yeah,
inputs and shit.
I give it a shot. Then I own it on Steam. I just gotta like fucking play it.
It's good. Once you see how the combat system works, I think you're gonna be like, oh yeah, it's like pseudo fighting game, but like with RPG. It's an RPG game, but with like it plays like almost like a fighting game. Almost like a fight. Like there's no inputs. It's literally just like Smash, I guess, but on a 2D plane, which is Smash, I guess. Yeah.
I see to try it then. I own it. I don't know why I don't just give it a shot. I think I got it like in a bundle forever ago. I'll give it a try for sure. Anywho, that's gonna be it for the show. Thank you
Oh
everybody
yeah.
for coming in, saying hi to us, listen to us talk about video games.
Yeah.
Wasabi, man, tell people where they can find us.
Guys, you can go to Gameoverse.com. You can go to Gameoverse.com/Twitch, Gameoverse.com/YouTube, Gameoverse.com/Discord, Gameoverse.com/Extra Life. We're doing right now Extra Life marathon stream. We've embedded this podcast in the middle of it. So, yeah. So when this podcast stops, we're going to keep going for another 14 hours. So
yeah, everybody come by, say hi. And we love to hear from you guys. I'm not going to be here for the whole 14 hours, but no, you will.
yeah, I'll be here. So finishing Bayonetta 3 and then something entirely different after that. So yeah, that's gonna do it.
Yeah. Peace out. Be safe.